box. Let's open that one up. That one. Charles Dance. Already on the list. Of course you are. Charles Dance. DC code. Done. Close that window. Open up a new one. Edit out Charles Dance for this channel and we're good to go. Jessica Simpson. Yeah, that was the last one. Charles Dance. Charles Dance. Create. Done. Lovely. Who's Dan Reynolds? Let me look. Dan Reynolds. Don't know the name, but if I know the person, I'll do it. Reynolds. American singer-songwriter. Oh, this is my friend's favourite band. She will not have it. She's a good friend of mine, and she will not have that Dan Reynolds is a woman. Again, I'm seeing Chris Pratt. Look at the short shoulders. He looks like the She looks like the Jezebel. Flat Earth Bet. Flat Earth Bet. This one I let in my house. Poncho Peter stabbing. Look it up. Fat bitch. Right there. Looks like Dan Reynolds. There's me with the big square jaw. I mean, I've got weight on me here, but look at the size of my chin. The width of my dental arch. The large low set ears. The rectangular far apart eyes. Versus the nog-eyed bitch here with the tiny female dentures. The sloping jawline. The lack of trachea and neck. I'm hairy. She's a fucking dolphin. A dolphin on show. Add a beard to that, and you've got this fat-looking bitch right here, Dan Reynolds. Let me close that window. Dan Reynolds. Never trust a man whose eyes are too close together. 5 head, widest in the hairline, high set ears, rounded, soft jawbone look. When you get used to seeing these pink lips, look, where's your brow bone? Why are your eyebrows arching? Why you got such close set eyes? Where's your trachea? Where's your Adam's apple? There is nothing stopping you from learning how to do this. Is that the husband? Dan. It is. Explain that square jaw. Look how flat and square. You've seen that before. On me. The flat square jaw of a man, look. See it? The flat square jaw of a man. And then you got this sloping bitch right here. With a squashy face. Again, wide cheekbones, no cheekbones. Main markers on male and female faces. This is what we're looking at. Oh, did he have a baby? He had a baby apparently. Not Dan with the big trousers there. The husband, the bloke, gave birth through his penis. Yes, of course. Never in the history of mankind, because God created it this way, can a man's penis stretch open and deliver a baby. A, because he doesn't have a womb. B, because he's got a penis and that's not a delivery system. That's not a delivery system for babies. Well, it is, but ejection-wise. And they're not fully formed babies. They're in the micro rather than the macros. Sean's got a picture on one of his memes, and it's a man giving birth through his penis. It's not a picture. It's a comic book set, but it's still gross to look at, Sean. But what a funny picture it is to look at. Knees together versus knees apart. Dan Reynolds from the. Is it the Soup Dragons? I don't know what they call the band. Copy. What do they call them? Imagine Dragons. That's what they are called. They're called Imagine Dragons. Let's open up my back file. Charles Dance. I did do Charles Dance, didn't I? Let me just double check. I'm having a brain fart. I did. He looks like Putin. I just saw President Putin for a split second. President Putin. Charles Dance. Let's go back. Dan Reynolds. That's the one we want. Back file. I'm sure I did it because my friend who loves, you know, if me and Dan was in a room and she had a choice, she could take either of us home. She'd take Dan, and then she'd find out he's got a mangina. She's got a Dangina. Uh, right, anyway. Soup Dragon. Not Soup Dragons. Imagine Dragons. Dan. It's a woman. Final answer. On the skull alone. Look at the size of this face. Cupid's bow. Pink lips. Small mouth. Big fat forehead. Looks like a girl in the guitar shop. Dan Reynolds. Walking. Let's put you on the list, Dan. Dan Gina. Oh, we're done. Left, right, and centre. Where do you want to start? Arms akimbo. Straight-legged husband look with the big teeth. Inline footfall. Dan Reynolds is a woman on Masonic floor. Jared, that's crap. That's better. It's more like it. We're done. Dan Reynolds with his sloping shoulders. Full mints. Left, right, and centre. Have I got you in the back file, Dan? Let's double check. Dan Reynolds. Yes, we do. Right there. Dan Reynolds. Thanks for playing CSI with us all. There are 5 gates. I've found 3 of them. See if we can find the other ones. There's a reverse flamingo. Look at the foot and the knee going outwards, and it's going to come back inwards. Inline footfall. And it's going to look like, that's better, Jared. Much better. Like that with the flamingo foot. Dan Reynolds from Imagine Dragons. Again, my friend loves this band. Thinks that's a bloke. More manlier than me. She got a shot coming, hasn't she, when she meets him? God, not Dan Reynolds. Who gives a crap about Dan Reynolds? I wouldn't want to meet any of these people unless it was for a proper conversation about why they're doing this. That's the only people I'd want to speak to if they were going to be open about it, about what they're doing here and why they've done it, and why they'd go against the most powerful god of existence, the creator. Why would you go against the creator? Or why would you continue to go against the creator? All right, you didn't go against the creator, Dan, I get it. Someone else made this happen to you, I get it. But you continue to live this lie, Dan. Pretending to be a man. Pretending that your wife's a woman and giving birth. You continued this delusional charade. That's what it is. They're playing charades. Guess who I am? Guess what I am? That's what they're playing. They're playing charades. It's not real. You're not a real man. You're not a real woman. You never will be, either of you, in that order. Dan Reynolds.